Hello everyone, welcome again in this tutorial. This is the second tutorial, follow up to the previous tutorial where we talk about the wireless sensor network addressing schemes, and we implement the addressing scheme using the Python last time. However, this time we are going to use Arduino. Okay, so let's start with this one. Then we start to talk about the construction and the concept of the wireless sensor network. Then after that, we start to implement the coding using Arduino IDE. Okay, for example, here we have an example of the wireless sensor network. I took it from this source. Okay, let me activate the pen. Okay, so here we can see this is our wireless sensor network. Let's use the highlighter. Okay, here is our wireless sensor network. Okay, the rest we'll talk about it later, which is the base station. Sometimes actually the base station also considered part of the wireless sensor network. Internet, if you connect it to the internet, will be IoT application. This is just a guidance of the application, and the end user can access the data. However, now we focus only about the wireless sensor network. Okay, as we can see, wireless sensor network consists of small systems called sensor nodes. Okay, these systems, they will communicate among each of them to report some events. For example, you can use this to monitor the traffic in some area, monitor the temperature of the jungles or any other application. So for example, if this place found something important need to be reported, for example, high temperature, got fire, got any unusual data, it can be reported through the networks all the way to the base station, which the base station uploaded on the way to the internet, so the user or the monitor station can see what's the issue, what's the problem triggered. Okay, so as we can see here, this is the construction of the one sensor node. Each sensor node consists of MCU and also sensor, for short, to sense the physical environment data, for example, temperature, light, vibration, color, anything, lighting. Okay, and also the wireless module. This wireless module, the wireless sensor node, it will use this module to transmit out the data or the events that's been happened. Okay, and for sure it has its own power supply, conditioning circuit, and energy storage. Okay, so the issue here is, for sure we can use any RF or Wi-Fi. Usually Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, we are not using it for wireless sensor network because they consider very power hungry, and since this wireless sensor node, it's very limited in the resources, so we cannot use the Wi-Fi or RF because they are very power hungry, so Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but we depend mainly on the normal RF, and especially the very low power RF. And for sure all the components that be used to build a wireless sensor node should be very low power, ultra low power if possible. Okay, so let's forget about the construction and all the mechanisms. So maybe if you want me to talk about this later, guys, let me know in the comments. So I will talk about it, how we choose the low power component, which are the low power component that can be used for the this wireless sensor network, for example, the MCU, low power sensor, even the RF module, etc., and also how to replace the power supply, the conventional power supply, which is the battery. Okay, how we can change it to, for example, energy harvesting is very exciting topics, because for sure, if let's say you have thousands of nodes, it's been separated around the jungle, it makes no sense to, let's say, every few months or even 1 year you have to go to an individual node to change the battery. So we can use energy harvesting, whereby we can harvest the energy from the environment to power up the node. That's why we need to choose the lowest possible component for the wireless sensor node, so it can be survive longer. Okay, so our tutorial for this series, we will talk about the addressing. Okay, for example, now we have 4 sensor nodes, very simple. Okay, they need to share information among them. Let's say this is sensor 1, this is node sensor 2, this is 3, and this is number 4. Okay, so now if these RF, for example, sensor number, the wireless sensor node 1 need to send data to node number 4, but for sure this RF, the coverage area of this RF might go, let's say, might cover this. Okay, cover 4, 3. Okay, the coverage area of this of RF number 1 can cover 4 and 3. Okay, so how we can send this data only for number 4 without disturbing number 3. Okay, for example, if you want to send some data to number 4, but number 3 also will receive this data, so how we can filter it, or how we can address it that this one can send only to 4, even though 3 still can listen and get the data, but only 4 will make use of this data. At the same time, if let's say number 1, node number 1 want to talk to number 2, but again number 2 is out of the coverage area of number 1, so how actually we will learn this also in the tutorial. Okay, so with this tutorial we will learn how to address this issue by using the addressing scheme. We will see how we can construct the data matrix with all the addressing and the required data. Okay, so let's go now and start our coding. Okay guys, so we are here again. I already opened a new Arduino IDE sketch. The Arduino has been connected. I'm using now Arduino Nano that support processor at Mega 328P connected on COM number 5. Okay, so let's start doing the coding. So first of all, let's add a comment state that this is actually our first node. Okay, so we won't be confused. This is wireless sensor node 1. Okay, so this is the first sensor node, and sensor data or node data are let's say we have temperature. Again, let's use same parameter like in Python in the previous tutorial. Let's say we have these 3 variable. So this one, let's say, is float temperature. Okay, so it's float temperature, let's say, equal to 33.4. Humidity, let's say integer humidity equal to, let's say, 70. Is quite humid there. By the way, we don't forgot to add the some column, and also we need the light, so integer light. Let's say the intensity equal to 100 lumen. Okay, so this is our data. Also, let's save it next time. Let's save. Okay, so this is our data. So in order to, let's say this is the data, we want to send it to another sensor node on the same network. For sure, we're going to use RF, and we will assume that the RF module using a serial. Actually, we can use any other peripheral, let's say I2C, SPI, whatever. But here, just to show the concept, I'm going to use the serial. Okay, so first of all, I will declare my serial, my serial port, or I initiate it. So serial dot begin. $9,600 baud rate. Okay. So first of all, let's print the data that we are going to send, or the node data. So you can say serial dot print this is node 1. Okay. So let's copy this. We need to print the temperature and then the humidity and light. Okay. So here we're going to print temperature equal to this. Here we make it single line. Then we bring the temperature. Yes, here I always forgot the semicolon. Because when you use a Python, then you come to here, you use different languages, and then you forgot many things. Okay, so temperature, then we need humidity. We HUM. Okay, we bring the humidity, and then we bring what else? Light. Okay, then we bring the light data. And here we just need to add separator. Okay, so we bring the temperature, then humidity and light. Okay, let's upload this code and see the output. Okay, humidity HUM. Broken. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot the semicolon. Okay, so when we open the COM, you see now this is node number 1, and this is the data that we are going to send. Okay, so now let's see how we are going to process the data. Okay, before we send it, or how is the method that we're going to do it. Okay, so here let's add some more spaces just to add some lines. Okay, copy this, but we don't want this. We just need to be okay. So I will develop all the code in the setup function, so I don't need to use loop function until going to be executed again and again. So I'm always going to use the setup, so I will run only once. Okay, so the first method is by sending the data one by one. Okay, this means same like how we display here. Okay, we just send the first, second, and third like this. So let's copy this. But here we don't need humidity. Okay, we can just send it like this. It's not really that good idea to send it like this. We will see why. Okay, it's not a good idea because, okay, if you're sending them like this, first of all, yes, we can synchronize them. We say, okay, the first one always be the temperature, second one will be humidity, last one will be the light. But the thing is, how if the sequence was changed? Okay, how if, let's say, somehow for some distortion happened to the signal that the first one was missing. Okay, we received only the last two, 70 and 100. So for sure, if we use the default, then the first one that we receive, which is the 70, will be the temperature. The second one will be the humidity, and the light might be expected or set to 0, which is very, very wrong. Okay. So conclusion, this method is out. Okay, it's really not recommended. So the other method is by concatenate the message. Instead of we send them separately. Okay, if we see now, we send them separately one by one, 1, 2, 3. We send them separately. In order to improve this, we can, because now again we explained the issue just now. If we miss one of the data, then the second two we don't know how to differentiate between them. So we can solve this issue by concatenate the data. Okay, concatenate the data before transmission. Okay, so now let's try to concatenate the data. Okay, we concatenate them in one string before we send them. So let's declare a string. We call it transmitting string. Okay, equal to the. Now we should be careful if we just put the temperature plus humidity plus light. This might end up with errors actually. Why? Because it will sum the value of these three. It will not concatenate them. So to concatenate them, we need to convert them to strings. So we take the string of these plus the string of the second data and the string of the last data. Okay, so now we concatenate them. Then let's try to see how they looks like. Let's copy this. Need this. Okay, let's add another print to show what to explain what is this. So we see here this is the first method. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, done. Okay, so you can see this is the first method. Okay, and we see here we didn't sum up or add up all the values here, but we just concatenate them one beside each other. So we have 33.40, the first one, then we have 70, and then we have 100. But again, here we have another issue. The issue is that we don't know how to, let's say, when at the receiver side, we don't know how to separate them back again. Okay, we don't know, is it this, let's say 40.3 and 70, then 100. Okay, we don't know from where we start to separate them. So this one also not really recommended method to process the data or the addressing. Okay, so it's suggested to add more special characters, okay, to differentiate and to identify each of the data. Okay, so this is the first. So now let's go to the third proposed method, okay, which is by adding data identifiers. Okay, so we add data identifiers. How? We are going to use the same string. Okay, we're going to use the same strings, but we will add identifiers. For example, before the temperature, we're going to add T equal to this. Okay, before the humidity, we are going to add H equal to this, and before the light, we're going to add L equal to this. Okay, so with this we add identifiers to the what they say, to the string to be sent. Let's copy this. So this is the second, no, first, sorry, this is not the first actually, this is the, okay, let's follow. So this is the second, okay, let's try. Oh, redeclaration, okay, let's assume this one too, this one too, okay. Okay, so we see now we add identification. Okay, so temperature, this is the temperature, humidity, this is the humidity, light, this is the light. Okay, this one much better comparing to this, or even to send the data like the previous one. Let's open it and say this is the first, so this one will be the second. Here this is the first method, and let's add spacer. Okay. I guess here we need to add bring line. No problem. Okay. It's okay, we'll resolve it later. This one need to be go down. No problem. Okay, so instead of we send them like this, Okay, we can send it here like this one. But again, not that good idea, so we improve it to here. But this one, again, we need to add some more characters, but this time not identifiers, but special character as a separator to separate them. So at least when we receive them, it becomes easy for us to separate them back to the original data. Okay, so now we add on the separators. Okay, so this is the 4. So this is the first, second, this is the third, and 4 by adding separators. Okay, adding separators, let's take the same, copy, we change this to 3. Here also 3. So now we are going to add separators. Okay. So let's say temperature. This between the temperature and humidity, we are going to add. Let's say semicolon. And humidity with light. Another semicolon. This is. I believe this is the last string because it looks nice already. Okay, done. Here we go. You see now? We have temperature, semicolon, humidity, semicolon, light. Okay, so later on when we receive it, we are going to send or transmit this string. When we receive it, we can just chop the string based on the special character. Then we have 3 small strings. These small strings, we can chop it again based on the equal and take this one as the identifier, H as an identifier, and L as an identifier. Okay, but now again, if we send only this, we have solved only the addressing for the data itself, but we haven't solved the addressing for the node overall. So it's better to add the destination node address because we have to know this data it should go into where. Okay, so let's declare another variable. We declare another variable here. We call it it's a string destination node address. Let's say we want to send it to node number 2. Okay. So this destination node address, then we add it to the third, here. So we say we want to concatenate this. It's already address, it's already string, no need to convert to string, but I need just to add a special character, which is the separator. That's all. So this is 333. Okay, let's check the last. Okay, beautiful. So this is the one that we are going to send. Now quite happy with this. So we will send N2. This is a destination. Temperature equal to this. You see now when we read the data from the special character to special character, or from separator to separator, H equal to 70, from this to this, L equal to 100. Okay, so this is the data actually that we are going to send it. Okay, so here this one will be transmitted. So now we can say, let's take this. So the fourth one will be transmitted. So we can see here, transmitting data. Okay. Okay. So until here, we already finished the transmission. So now we will work with the receiver. This is the transmission from the first node, now the receiver. So we say this is the wireless sensor node 2, which is the receiver. So here at this node, it's going to receive this data. Okay. So we're going to receive this data. So let's use the to print some more identifications. This. Okay. So we say this is not to receive data, and we can say this is the fourth transmitted data. Okay, so receive data, and we are going to say we received plus string 3. Okay, so at this point we already received this. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, done, beautiful. Okay, so now until here we already construct this string. You see now we already concatenate all the string from our data. Okay. Now the issue is after we transmit the data. Here this is the receiver. Okay, this is the transmitter node. This code for the transmitter node. This is for the receiver. Actually, it received this one, which is same what we sent. Now the job at the receiver node, it should decode, okay, or interpret this string to understand what does mean by this string, or what is the node being sent to it. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to, because here in Arduino not easy to split the strings, so I'm going to develop, I believe this one, the split code I already wrote in the previous, the function I wrote in the previous videos. I advise you to go and watch if you haven't saw. Okay. So we are going to develop the split function. String split function. Okay. So this function, it will be void, will not return anything. Why will be void? Because in Arduino, for the string, function cannot return array, and when we split the string, it will be written the number, or written numbers of strings, or number of the small strings that been splitted. So this one will be treated as array, and array cannot be processed in the function inside the this. This one cannot be processed, but cannot be returned. But we will still process array, but we will learn how to do it by using global array. Okay, so void split, this is the name of our function. So this function will take two parameters. First, it will take string, the input string, let's say string in, and also it takes string special character. Okay, so this is our function. It will take these two parameters. Inside we need two variables. We have integer counter equal to 0, and also last index also 0. Okay, so now we need to declare a loop for this. Loop will start from 0 until the string in length. Okay, we will go through all the length of the string. Plus. Okay, so here we need the data to be split. This one, actually, it will be the array. So the array is better to be declared as a global variable. Okay, so we will define it as a global variable. Okay, global will be here. So we say this is a global variables array. So we declare string of data split. Here actually, because when we split the data, we have only 3 data with only and also 1 node address. So if we set, let's say, the length of the array, 5 should be more than enough. Okay, so here we will use the 5 because we have only 1, 2, 3, or 4 data only. So after we split them, so 5 should be okay. So now, after we loop through, so we need to check first if the string or the input string dot substring from I until I plus 1 if any of these, I mean from I to I plus 1, whenever we go through any special character, we're going to test and check if this one is equal to the special characters. I mean we reach to the place where we want to split. So we are going to save this in a new array places. So our data split, is it data split? It's better to copy. Data split of the counter, okay, because start from 0, so it will be stored in the first place, is equal to the string dot, let me take this. We start not from I, but the last index. Again, all this code I've been explained in details in the previous videos. Okay, so I'll start. This is my first this location, which is the first substring that been cut from the main string, and also the last index will be equal to I plus 1. We have to advance this by 1 after the I, and also the counter will be advanced by 1. Okay, so this one will settle all the splits, but we need to add another code to handle another one to handle what they call the last string, because the last string cannot be detect the special character, so we need to add this. We check if we reach to the last or to the maximum length of the array, of the string. If I reach to the maximum length minus 1, we already reached the maximum. So the data of this, let's copy all. Okay, so this data will be equal to the substring and last index until the I plus 1. Okay, this is just to settle the last one. Okay, so let's check. Hopefully everything okay. Happy we didn't make any mistake. Okay, beautiful. So now we will go back to our code. Okay, so we continue here. So first of all, we start to split the incoming data following the special character, which is the semicolon. So we do this by just call the split function, and in the split function we send this to variable. And here I believe we need to declare, actually no need to declare, we just send this, okay. Okay, so after we run this command, the array that we create, the global array, this one, it should be already populated with the splitted data. Okay, this should be already populated with the splitted data. So we come here, then let's use the serial monitor. We say, what do we say? We say data after split. Okay, so now again we define 5 variables or 5 places inside the array, but actually we have only 4, so no need to print. If we print all, then we have a lot of empty locations being printed, wasted our space. So to solve this issue, okay, we are going to use a special loop. We will not use for loop to go through indexing of this array. We're going to use a do while this time. So we have index, integer index equal to 0. Okay, so do. What we will do, we will serial print. Let's print the data split. Where is it? So yeah, here. So we print data split of the index, and then the index will be advanced by 1 while not empty. Okay, so this one will print only the populated data without the empty space. Whenever it reaches to the empty location, it will block. Okay, so let's update this and try again. Okay, you see now? Beautiful. So after we split, we see now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 locations inside the array that's been populated with our data again that we constructed here. So now the first thing we already split based on this special character. Now what we're going to do, okay, we need to check if the address is matched with the local one. Okay, so after this, say here, so first we already start by splitting. Now second is check the received address is matched with the local node address. Okay, so how we do this? The received one actually, let's print it out again. Also, it looks nice. So we go here. So this one, nope. This one, we just delete these. So here we type in check this address with the local node address. Okay, and the address will be the first one, number 0, the first location. Okay, so if you can see here, this is the first location and 2 split data of 0. So this is the one will be processed to check if this is the one for us or no. Okay, so to do this, we use if condition for sure. If this location is equal to the node address, would I set it here? Let's set the, yeah, since here we start the node address to, this is the location for the, let's say here, string local node address equal to and 2. We are going to use this one for comparison. So if this one equal to here, double equal, then we should do something else, do something else. Okay, so first of all, if this one, if match, then need to print that, okay, this data is for me, let's analyze it. we are going to print this data is not for me. We just ignore it. Okay, let's test it out. So now what we expect to be printed is that this is the data that's for me, and I'm going to analyze it. Here we go. This data is for me, going to analyze. So now let's assume this data be analyzed. Let's assume that I change the destination. Say destination I don't want to N2, I want to N4. Let's see what will happen. Okay, so updating, here we go. You see now when we change the destination, here, I change it to node number 4, but node number 2 received it already. So when it check, they say, okay, this is not for me. Why? Because it doesn't match my local address. So it's going to be ignored. No need to go further and process more the data. But if the node number 4 receive it and compare it with the local address, then will be matched. Then this is the one will be processed. So we change this again. Don't forget. Okay. Where were we just now? So after, it's always good to add some spaces. So we know what we are doing. Okay. So if this is for us, what we are going to do, first of all, I will make a copy of, because this data split, I will going to use it as a buffer to always use it to update the splitting data. So I will define a new this global string arrays. So this time let's call it node data. And also 5. I mean, I don't believe it will be more than 5, because usually it will be only 2. So 5 should be more than enough. Okay. So we take this. So now what we will do, we will copy all the data from the old one to the new one. Okay. So where we just now we do here. Okay. So we will use for loop. Now I can use for why, because I have the index already somewhere here. I believe here. Yeah, I have the index from there. So I'll use the same one to copy first. So for I equal 1. Now why I equal start from 1? This one I'll leave it for you. If you know why, leave the reason, the comment. Let's see who can win. From I equal to 1 until the index, and then I plus this. But here actually, before we print, let's make a copy. Okay, no problem. It will be the same actually. Let's so this one not data of I equal to split data of I. Okay, we make a copy from the split data into the node data. Well, let's take it out there. Let's take this and we put it where after we found the index, it's better to put it here. Okay, let's check. Should be all okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's try again. Beautiful. So now we can, let's use the same one. So now after this, let's print again the data. So for I from 1 less than index, we use the print. Not all data of I, and we close it. Okay, let's test it out. Where is the com? Okay, here we go. So now we have only this data. After we check, yes, it's for me, I'll analyze it. I took a copy, then I will split further this data. Okay? So let's add line space. There we go. So see now all we are aware in the condition where it's already matched the local. Okay? So now since I have the index already, so it means I have the number of the locations, how many locations I already have. So I will look through these locations, okay, for integer b equal to 1 and b is less than the index, because I know the index of the array, and b plus plus. So what I will do here, from each one of them, from each location inside the array, okay, I'm going to split it. But before I split, I need to make another loop for integer a. This loop will be start from 1 and a less than 5. This is for the array length. We expect it to be 5. I mean, this is the 5 locations. A plus plus. Okay. So here I'll start with data split. First of all, in this one, I will empty the data split, because why? Wait. First of all, here I use the data split to update. You see here, I use the data split to update it with the split result. So whenever I send a new split, I need to clear it. Otherwise, it will keep add on. So I need to skip it first. Sorry, I need to clear it. Okay, so here I clear it already. Then I will start to split. So split, again, split it will take 2 parameters. What do you want to split? I want to split the node data of I. Node data, but exactly this one. Node data, but here, sorry, not split. I can split from, yeah. I need to use a split. Now not I, because now under which loop? B. And the special character for the second parameter will be equal. Why? Because now if you check, you see now I will split based on the equal sign. Okay? So split based on the equal. And after that, I will initiate the index. Oh, actually, until here, we already finished the separation. Let's check if everything okay. Why? We forgot something. Everything okay? Oh yeah, here. Yes, split data of A. Because we're going through loop A, then everyone going to loop, then here we're still in the loop. After we chop it, then let's declare another index idx2 equal to 0. Then now we will print it out. So we will do what? Almost the same code as the above. Where is the do code? Okay, so do print. Now we print the data split of index 2 now, because we have another index, the one we declared just now. Now index 2 be plus while the data split of index 2 is not equal to this. Let's compile everything. Okay, no. Oh yeah, should be integer. Okay. So after they finish here, we need another split to say that it is done. Okay, let's see. Hopefully everything will be fine. So we run again. Here we go, beautiful. So we can see now we already spread them. Again, now we have the T, temperature and 33, humidity 77, L equal to this, okay? So by this, we already succeed to chop it again or split it again based on the last special character, which is the equal. Okay, so again, let's say now we can change the value. It will be automatically changed and send an update. Let's say here I don't want to send 100. Let's say the value changed to 50. So our code will be automatically do the calculation, do the concatenation and all the thing, and at the end we get the 50 that's been sent at the beginning. Where is it? This one, which is the light 50. Okay, so first of all here, again, to review again, we have the first method, just send, wrong, concatenate and so on, and send another wrong, concatenate with identifiers, okay, but still not that good, the perfect way by adding special characters as separator with the identifiers for each data with the destination address. When we receive it, the first thing is we will split it based on the special character, okay, which is the semicolon. Then we take the first one, the first column, we treat this as the destination address. For sure, we can add another address, which is the source destination, just make it like proper IP packet. We got source, destination, the other headers. Okay, so make this, we take this one and two, we treat this as the node address, then we convert with the local one. If it's matched, they say, okay, yes, for me. If not matched, it will be let's try again. Let's say now I want to send to node number 5. We see the code will be do all the process or just directly go to the last option, which is ignore the message. Here we go. You see, once it will first chop it or split it based on the special character, which is semicolon. That will see, oh, this is come to node number 5, but mine is 2. Okay, just ignore it. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so after the the receiver node will be split the incoming string based on the special character, okay, to access all the substrings. It will take the first location, treat it as the address node, convert with its local. If it's matched, then I say, yes, this is mine, let's further process it. Then now we'll chop it or split it based on the equal sign to separate the identifier from the data. So then we can know which one is which. For example, this one, our temperature is just T, 70 is the humidity, and this one is the light. Okay, so again, here is the code. We have these two global. We use them to hold and buffer our data before and after split. Okay, so here is how we concatenate. Where is, I believe is the fourth one. This is the one. This is how we can concatenate the data with the destination address, special character, and etc. So this was very, very useful for us, especially at the receiver side. Then we transmit it in. Then this one will be on the receiver side. So the receiver, first of all, we need to declare the receiver location. Then it will check if, it will be split. It will be split the incoming string based on the special character. Okay, then it will take only the first location of the splitted strings, or the result of the split, the first location ever, and it will check if it's matched with the local or no. If it doesn't match, directly you say just ignore and close the loop. If it is matched, it's happened to be matched with the local one. Where is it? Here we go. If it is matched, then I say, okay, it looks for me. So I will go through, process further. Okay, I will split more. First of all, I need to clear and all this thing. I will split more based on the equal now. Since it's mine, okay, I expect the secondary or the result of the split will be the identifier, special character, which is equal, and the value. So the special character here, it will be or separator, it will be the equal sign. So I split based on the equal sign, and then I will print. Be careful in this method. I find do while more nice loop be used to bring this kind of this arrays. Otherwise, if you use for loop, it will print all the empty spaces. So I advise you to use this one, and that's all. And here again, this function we already developed before in the previous tutorial. We learned how to do the split function, because there's no easy way like Python. You just need to like one command like split this string based on this character. Here cannot. You have to develop your own code. However, I already helped you to develop the code. You just need to follow this one. Okay. So with this, we already conclude our tutorial for today. I hope you have learned from this tutorial. Thank you very much, and please let me know if you have any questions or comments on this video. I'm sorry also for the late reply. Seriously, sometimes I have no time for this, but I will find time for it. Thank you very much and happy learning.